silence more deafening than any scream, a silence that strikes fear into the heart of those who thrive on control. It's not rage, not chaos, but absence. Emptiness. You vanish, and suddenly the power they once held dissolves into nothingness. This is what happens when you go no contact with a narcissist. But let's be clear. This isn't about revenge. No, it's about something far greater. It's about reclaiming the most sacred possession you own, your inner peace. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." And walking away in silence is the purest reaction of all, a testament to your strength, your discipline, your unbreakable will. When you cut off a narcissist, their desperation doesn't stem from missing you. It stems from losing control over you. They crave validation, attention, dominance. But when you disappear, you dismantle their illusion of power. We're not here to play their games. We're here to rise, above manipulation, above weakness, above every destructive emotion that chains us to suffering. This is the path of fortitude, of mastery over self. This is the essence of Stoicism. And today we dive deep into the storm. We'll uncover exactly what a narcissist desperately wants when you go no contact, and more importantly, how you can walk away, not just untouched, but reborn. Because in that silence, you become unstoppable. Number 1, narcissist's initial reaction. When you go silent, a narcissist doesn't feel confusion, they feel threatened. The moment you cut off their supply of validation, admiration, and attention, the mask they wear begins to crack. The illusion they built around control begins to shatter. And what lies beneath that fragile facade? Fear. You see, narcissists thrive on one thing: control. They construct a reality where they are the center of the universe and everyone else orbits around them. Your attention, whether it's love, anger, or even frustration, fuels their ego. But when you withdraw, that source of power disappears, leaving them stranded in a void they've spent their entire existence trying to escape. Seneca once said, "He who is brave is free." Your silence, your withdrawal, it's the ultimate act of bravery. And in that act, you shatter the illusion of their control. You take back what was always yours, your freedom. But understand this, freedom for you means panic for them. Their initial reaction is not sadness or loss, it's fury masked as desperation. They might lash out, trying to provoke you with cruel words, sudden gestures of false affection, or manipulative guilt. Why? Because any reaction from you, means they still hold power. It means you're still caught in their web. But you must remember, you owe them nothing. Your silence is your shield. In that stillness, you're not just defending yourself, you're practicing fortitude. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The narcissist's initial fury is nothing more than a final, desperate attempt to break your will. They'll try to pull you back into the chaos because that's where they thrive, where your focus feeds their fragile ego. But every moment you hold your ground, every second you choose silence over reaction, you rise. You embody discipline. You become untouchable. This isn't just an escape, it's a transformation. Each second of silence sharpens you. Every moment of restraint reinforces your mastery over emotion. You don't need revenge, you don't need validation. You need only your unwavering will. Because in the end, their panic reveals the truth. They never had power over you. You just forgot the strength you've always carried within. Number 2, strategies to regain control. When the narcissist feels the ground beneath them crack, they don't retreat, they strategize. Understand this, control is their lifeblood. Without it, they are powerless, hollow, desperate to reassert their dominance. And they will employ every manipulation tactic at their disposal to pull you back into their snare. Their first weapon? Guilt. They will twist the narrative to make you feel as though you are the villain. They will remind you of every sacrifice they claim to have made, every false moment of affection, painting themselves as the misunderstood victim. The goal? To infect your mind with doubt, to make you question your decision to walk away. But as Epictetus said, no man is free who is not master of himself. And doubt is their poison. Self-mastery is your antidote. The second strategy they employ is love bombing. Grand gestures, sudden apologies, promises of change, they'll flood you with the affection they know you crave. But this isn't love, it's bait. Their charm is a mask worn only to restore control, to reel you back into their web of manipulation. Recognize it for what it is, an illusion, hollow and fleeting. Next comes anger. When guilt and affection fail, they'll resort to rage. They will lash out, accusations, insults, threats. But this, too, is a trap. They want you to react, to descend into emotional chaos, because reaction feeds their ego. It tells them they still matter. And perhaps their most insidious tactic, triangulation. They'll involve others, friends, family, or even new romantic interests to provoke jealousy, insecurity, or fear of being replaced. This is their last attempt to make you feel small, insignificant, forgotten. But here's the truth they fear you'll realize. You don't need to react. Silence is power. Your strength lies in restraint, in rising above their chaos. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Every moment you refuse to play their game, you reclaim your power. Stoicism teaches us to respond not with emotion, but with reason. This is where your fortitude must sharpen like a blade. Every attempt they make to control you is an opportunity to practice discipline, to master the only thing you truly own, your own mind. So when the guilt comes, stand firm. When false affection floods in, see through the illusion. When rage erupts, remain unshaken. When they try to replace you, remember, you are irreplaceable to yourself. You don't fight fire with fire. You extinguish it with stillness, with clarity, with indifference. That is your victory, not in their destruction, but in your own unbreakable peace. Because the greatest form of control isn't about dominating others, it's about mastering yourself. Number 3, narcissists' tactics for manipulation and control. A narcissist doesn't surrender easily. When their initial strategies to regain control falter, they evolve, crafting more intricate, more venomous methods of manipulation. These tactics aren't random. They're precise, calculated, and designed to strike where you're most vulnerable. Understanding them is not just defense, it's liberation. The first, and perhaps most dangerous tactic, is gaslighting. This isn't just lying, it's psychological warfare. They distort reality, twist your perceptions, and make you question your own sanity. You're overreacting. That never happened. You're imagining things. These aren't just words. They're daggers aimed at your sense of reality. The goal? To destabilize you, to make you doubt your own mind so that they can reclaim control. But as Seneca taught us, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. When you recognize gaslighting for what it is, a weapon of confusion, you disarm it. The truth is your anchor. Trust it, hold fast. The second weapon in their arsenal is projection. Here, the narcissist casts their own flaws, fears, and insecurities onto you. They accuse you of the very things they are guilty of: lying, manipulation, selfishness. Why? Because if they can shift the blame, they can evade accountability and keep you off balance. Next comes devaluation. Once they realize they can no longer control you through affection or charm, they will try to tear you down. The compliments turn into criticisms, admiration into disdain. Suddenly, everything you do is wrong, insignificant, or flawed. But this is not a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of their desperation. They believe that by breaking your spirit, they can shatter your resolve. And then there's isolation. They will subtly or overtly push you away from those who support you. Friends, family, anyone who reminds you of your strength. They know that isolation breeds dependency, and if they can cut you off from your support system, they can tighten their grip. But you must remember the wisdom of Epictetus. No man is free who is not master of himself. Their tactics can only succeed if you surrender your inner fortress. The final, most subtle tactic? Hoovering. Just when you believe you've escaped their influence, they return with promises of change, with words dipped in honey. I've changed. I miss you. It's not love, it's control, masked as remorse. The aim is to pull you back into their cycle of manipulation. Here's where your stoic armor must be strongest. Recognize these tactics not as reflections of your weakness, but of their fear. Your silence, your detachment. It terrifies them. And every attempt to manipulate you is proof that you are slipping beyond their reach. You don't need to react. You don't need to fight. You need only to endure, to stand firm in your knowledge, your discipline, your mastery over self. Because true strength isn't about crushing your enemy, it's about becoming untouchable. When you refuse to play their game, when you rise above their manipulation, you strip them of their only weapon, your attention. And in that moment, you become the master of your own fate. Number 4, how to protect yourself and moving forward. Protection from a narcissist doesn't begin with external barriers. It begins within. It starts with mastering your mind, forging resilience so powerful that no manipulation can pierce it. The true fortress is not built of walls or distance. It's built from self-awareness, discipline, and an unshakable understanding of your worth. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is the foundation of your protection. Controlling your reaction, mastering your thoughts, and refusing to surrender your peace to anyone who seeks to disrupt it. The first step toward true protection is setting clear boundaries. Boundaries are not walls of anger, they are declarations of self-respect. They are the lines that say, "This is where I end, and you cannot cross." A narcissist will try to blur these lines, convincing you that you owe them your attention, your forgiveness, your compassion. But you owe them nothing. Your silence, your distance, it isn't cruelty, it's survival. Next, you must practice emotional detachment. This doesn't mean shutting down your heart. It means choosing where your energy flows. The narcissist thrives on your reactions, feeding on your anger, your pain, your confusion. But when you remove emotion from the equation, when you respond with cold indifference, you starve them of the control they crave. As Epictetus reminds us, it's not things that upset us, but our judgment about things. The narcissist's words, their tactics, they hold no power unless you grant it. When you choose to detach, their manipulation becomes nothing more than noise, easily silenced by your clarity. Another crucial shield is rebuilding your support system. Isolation is their weapon, connection is yours. Surround yourself with those who recognize your value, those who remind you of your strength when doubt begins to creep in. Lean on friendships forged in authenticity, not control. Seek out those who reflect the courage you are nurturing within yourself. But perhaps the most profound form of protection is self-mastery. This is the art of rising above, of cultivating habits that strengthen your spirit, meditation, reflection, discipline, and learning. Every book you read, every moment spent in quiet contemplation, every practice of self-control becomes a brick in the fortress you are building. Moving forward doesn't mean forgetting what you endured. It means transforming that pain into power. The scars left by narcissistic manipulation are not signs of weakness. They are evidence of survival. And survival, in its purest form, is strength. Seneca once said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Every challenge, every moment of silence you hold in the face of manipulation is a lesson in resilience. Moving forward is not about escaping the memory. It's about standing taller because of it. And above all, remember this. You are not defined by the control someone else once had over you. You are defined by the control you now hold over yourself. Every breath of silence, every choice not to engage, every step forward is a declaration. I am free. Your journey doesn't end with going no contact. It begins there. It's the moment you reclaim your strength, your peace, your future. And no narcissist, no manipulator, no force of chaos can touch the spirit of someone who has mastered themselves. Because the greatest power is not in controlling others, it's in becoming so disciplined, so fortified, that no one can control you. In the end, walking away from a narcissist isn't just about cutting off contact. It's a declaration of war against every chain they ever tried to wrap around your mind. But this isn't a war fought with rage or retaliation. No, it's fought and won with silence, discipline, and the relentless pursuit of inner mastery. This journey you're on isn't about them anymore. It never was. It's about you, your growth, your fortitude, your ability to rise above the chaos and forge a version of yourself that no manipulator can touch. You're not running from the storm, you're becoming the storm's master. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Every struggle, every dark moment you've endured isn't just a roadblock. It's the very fuel that will drive your transformation. The pain you faced is not your weakness. It's your proving ground. Remember this. The narcissist's greatest fear isn't being ignored. It's realizing that they never had true control over you to begin with. Their power was always an illusion, one that crumbles the moment you embrace your own strength. You are not here to seek revenge. You are here to rise, to become someone so grounded, so unshakable, that no manipulation, no deceit, and no chaos can touch you. That's what true freedom looks like. It's not escape, it's domination over your own mind. And now as you move forward, every step you take in silence is an act of rebellion. Every moment of peace you claim is a victory. You are no longer a pawn in their game. You're the master of your own fate. So take this moment, breathe it in, feel the power of your own will sharpening like a blade. This isn't the end, it's the beginning of your true life. A life driven not by the shadows of manipulation, but by the blazing light of self-mastery. And as you walk this path, remember, you're not walking alone. We're all in this together, striving for control over the only thing we can ever truly own, ourselves. What are your views on this? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I will personally read all of your comments. And if you seriously want to level up in life, don't forget to show some love by hitting the like and subscribe button. Stay strong. Until next time.